The spoon floats above my kitchen countertop. I don't remember when it appeared. I think it's always been there, choosing to be ignored. Once I noticed it, I was immediately afraid. How could a spoon float? How could a physical object go against everything I have ever been taught? The spoon does not care what is possible. It is a spoon. It floats upright, with the handle pointing to the floor and the bowl towards the ceiling. It almost never moves. It doesn't need to. It is a spoon. It seems so mundane and simple, but how can something so peculiar be anything but terrifying? This single object defies everything anyone has ever known. A magician may perform tricks, but this spoon is doing something that no human has ever been able to perform by defying nature in this way. It goes against every rule the universe has ever had and brings the nature of reality into question. But how can this be? It is a spoon. It looks ordinary. Its reflective metal shows no sign of age. Every day, I check if the spoon is still there. It always is. Sometimes I think about touching it, but I can never bring myself to try. I don't think it would allow me anyway. I miss my best friend. They could not see the spoon. I showed them the week it appeared. Do you see it? His blank expression, staring right through the countertop, showed me that he could not see. Perhaps his mind could not comprehend it, or perhaps he was not chosen to have this revealed to him. I should have never attempted to show anyone. Unveiling the spoon is not my decision to make. Before he could speak, the spoon moved. The only time it ever has. It lodged itself under his eyelid, only the handle still visible, protruding from the small gap in his eye socket. The handle tilted upwards, putting pressure onto his eye, until it no longer remained in the socket. We were both probably screaming, but I don't remember. My mind was too broken to hear. Blood poured to the floor as the spoon continued to move inside his head, as if it were searching for something. It moved effortlessly, like digging ice cream out of a pot. After what seemed like minutes, although it may have been closer to mere seconds, the spoon returned to its original position, completely clean. The crystal clear reflection of the room remained on its surface. No hints of the horrors that took place just moments prior. At first, my friend fell to the floor. Then, suddenly, he was no longer there. I didn't see him disappear, but I didn't look away either. It was as if different parts of reality seeped together, closing around him. The whole room looked as it always had. I began to wonder if I was crazy. Had anything even just happened? Things were happening too fast for anything to seem real. Things still don't seem real now. I never saw my friend again. I've never told anybody what I saw. I'm not even sure how I would. As I entered my kitchen, I stepped over the spot where my friend had once been. The spoon was next to me. I tried to ignore it, as I often do, but somehow I couldn't look away. Something in the spoon caught my attention. In the inverted reflection where the bowl curves inward, I saw my friend lying at my feet, in a puddle of blood. His eye lay next to him. I tried to look away, but I was not allowed. The privilege of ignorance was taken from me as I relived the events that took place against my friend. Yet all the while, a single thought lodged into my brain as the spoon had once lodged into his. Why is this happening to me? This kitchen utensil doesn't care what anyone thinks. It exists as a portal to the unknown, the only connection between reality and an unexplainable terror. It could have been any object, any physical thing. But here it is, manifesting in my kitchen, a few feet away from where I make sandwiches. It is not a spoon. It is a herald of darkness. Days 1506. This counter is how I track what day I'm on. Every day, when I wake up, I type that before I forget. There are a million movies surrounding this. They all focus on comedy. This is not funny. This is a living nightmare. Posts 1450. It has been December 13th, 2022, for about 4 years. I have written this Reddit post too many times. I don't post it every day, but I almost always do, in the small hopes that someone's advice will work. When I was only a few days into this, my posts were short, a few sentences at most. I would add more information every day, cramming more and more information in. Eventually, it got to the point where most of my day was spent typing things up, and it got tiring. Whilst this is your first time reading this, I have written slight variations of this post over 1,000 times. Today just happens to be the day where I'm in your timeline. Tomorrow, it'll be the exact same for me, whilst you move on with your life. Asking for advice in person takes too long, and usually, nobody believes me. The internet is the best way to reach a large number of people fast. Times drove to hospital. 907. My wife is 9 months pregnant. Every day, at 11:49 p.m., she goes into labor. No matter what I do differently, it always happens. On the drive to the hospital, at exactly midnight, everything always goes black, and the day resets to when I was sleeping this morning. I don't even always wake up. Some days, at midnight, I'm suddenly back to dreaming again. Sometimes, the dream even continues the drive to the hospital, and I always wake up before my wife gives birth, and I always cry. A terrifying thought I sometimes have is, what happens to my wife? Is everyone in the world resetting? But I'm the only person with the memories. Am I in a different universe? And the version of me driving the car thinks they've broken the loop. Do I disappear for her, and there's a car crash? That last one is the most terrifying for me. Some days, I don't even drive her down, and she's furious at me for it. I hate to do it, but I like to think I'm saving her from a potential crash. The comments are always slightly different, probably because nothing is truly repeatable. The simple act of me wording this slightly differently each day will cause different outcomes for that day. A few things are usually the same, though. User Brightbites. You're going to comment about how this reminds you of Groundhog Day, and how it's been your nightmare since you were a kid. You're also not going to read down this far, because you never noticed this prediction. User Skipper15C. You're going to comment about trucks. I'm kidding. You're actually going to write down some cocky comment about how I was wrong, and fate doesn't dictate you. Also, you spelled "your" wrong.
Deaths, 197.
I've ended it so many times, in so many ways. It never works. I feel the immense pain it causes, so I always try to pick the fast methods. But no matter what, I always wake up, as if nothing ever happened. I haven't tried it in a few years. I've accepted, now, that death is no way out of here.
Kills, 1.
I've killed someone once. I hate myself for it. Even though I see them every day, alive and well, I can't get their lifeless eyes out of my mind. It was purely out of curiosity. I've tried so many different things in my time trapped, and this is the one I regret most. My neighbor did nothing wrong. I just wanted to see what would happen. I got arrested and taken into custody. Just before midnight, an officer came into the interview room to let me know my wife had gone into labor. He was only halfway through his sentence when midnight hit.
Wife's deaths, 0.
It's crossed my mind. It can't be a coincidence that this keeps happening on the same day my wife goes into labor. I keep thinking, what if it's her? Or the baby? But the only reason I want to break this loop is to see my daughter. It's the only thing I want. The only thing I need. The one thing that can make me sane again after living like this. If killing her breaks the loop, I'd rather be looped forever. I want to see my daughter.